So let's talk about deep watering, what it is, why it matters, and how it can totally transform your garden. If you're still out in the garden every single day with a hose, soaking your plants from the top and wondering why they look stressed, this one's for you. Daily watering might seem like the loving thing to do, but it could actually be weakening your plants and wasting both your time and precious water. The secret to stronger, more resilient plants isn't more watering, it's better watering. Today we're diving into the deep watering method and revealing cheap tools and clever hacks that help your plants dig deeper, drink smarter, and thrive longer, even in the middle of a heat wave. So stop pouring water down the drain, literally. If your garden dries out fast, wilts by afternoon, or seems addicted to your daily hose routine, you need to rethink your strategy. These deep watering methods will not only make your garden healthier but will give you back hours every week. Let's get into it. Daily surface watering is like feeding your plants fast food. It may satisfy them for the moment, but it doesn't nourish them deeply. When you water lightly and often, roots stay shallow and close to the surface, where heat and evaporation are most intense. As a result, plants become more vulnerable to drought, wind, and even pests. Deep watering, on the other hand, encourages roots to grow downward, anchoring the plant and making it better able to tap into stable moisture reserves far below the surface. The real goal of watering isn't just to wet the soil, it's to feed the root zone, and that's where deep watering shines. When water moves slowly into the soil and reaches deeper levels, it triggers root expansion and builds a buffer against dry spells. You end up watering less often but with more impact, and your plants grow tougher and more self-sufficient. You don't need to spend a fortune on smart irrigation systems to achieve deep watering. One of the most effective tools is a simple soaker hose. When laid along the base of your plants and run at a low pressure, these hoses release water gradually, directly into the soil, right where it's needed. They work best when left to run for 30 minutes to an hour, depending on soil type, allowing water to seep deeply without runoff. Another ancient and surprisingly effective tool is the aloe. These unglazed clay pots are buried in the ground and filled with water, which slowly seeps through the porous clay walls to hydrate surrounding roots. They're ideal for veggie beds, fruit trees, or containers, and they require very little maintenance. You can even DIY them using 2 terracotta pots and some waterproof glue. Then there are watering spikes, terracotta or plastic devices that connect to reused bottles. Stick them near the root zone, fill the bottle, and forget it for several days. They're cheap, sustainable, and excellent for container gardens. Even a simple 5-gallon bucket with small holes drilled at the bottom can become a deep watering reservoir for larger plants or trees. Just fill the bucket, let it drain slowly, and walk away. No deep watering method works well without a protective mulch layer. Mulch acts like a lid on your soil, locking in the moisture that's already there. Once you've watered deeply, a 2 to 3 inch layer of organic mulch, like straw, shredded leaves, or aged wood chips, helps prevent that moisture from evaporating in the sun. It also keeps the soil temperature more stable, which is especially critical during summer heat waves. Without mulch, even the best watering efforts evaporate faster. With mulch, you extend the lifespan of every drop of water and reduce how often you need to pull out the hose. When you water deeply is just as important as how you do it. Early morning is the ideal time, while temperatures are still cool and the sun hasn't had a chance to pull moisture back into the air. Watering in the morning allows your plants to drink deeply before the heat stress of the day, giving them the best chance to stay hydrated through high noon. Avoid late afternoon or evening watering if possible, especially if you're using overhead methods. Wet foliage that lingers into the night invites fungal diseases. Morning watering ensures foliage dries quickly, while roots get the drink they need. If you're serious about saving water, don't let rain go to waste. Installing a basic rain barrel under your gutter, or even placing buckets around your yard during a storm, can give you a free source of deep watering supply. Use this water with your olas, soaker hoses, or watering cans, and you're not only conserving resources, but also feeding your plants the soft, chlorine-free rainwater they prefer. And don't underestimate the power of repurposed items. An old milk jug can become a slow-drip irrigator. A cracked bucket becomes a water reservoir. With a little creativity, your backyard and recycling bin can supply most of what you need to shift toward a deep watering garden. One of the easiest ways to waste water is by guessing. Before you reach for the hose, use the finger test. Stick your finger about 2 inches into the soil. If it feels cool and moist, hold off. If it's dry below the surface, it's time to water. For a more accurate read, especially in larger beds, you might want to invest in a simple soil moisture meter. These tools really help you make smarter watering decisions, and honestly, they help you avoid overwatering, which can be just as harmful as drought. Remember, deep watering is all about strategy, not routine. Water only when needed, but make it count when you do. By switching from daily surface watering to strategic deep watering, you not only save water and time, you actually build a more resilient, self-sufficient garden. Whether you're growing tomatoes, ornamentals, or native drought-tolerant species, this method lays the foundation for stronger root systems and, fewer watering emergencies. If you learned something new today, hit that like button and share this guide with a fellow gardener who's always battling dry beds. And don't forget to subscribe to HydroHaven for more time-saving, plant-loving gardening hacks that work with nature, not against it. Deep roots lead to deeper success. Let's grow smarter together.